Long before Rome, long before Athens, even before the rise of Babylon, the Great Pyramid of Giza already touched the sky. By the time of Tutankhamun sat on the throne of Egypt, it was already a relic of a distant past, ancient even to the ancients. Once gleaming white and crowded in gold, it soared nearly 147 meters high. A man-made mountain, built stone by stone, with over 2 million blocks, each weighing as much as a car. It stood for more than 4,000 years as the tallest structure ever built by human hands. And of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, it is the only one that still stands today, defiant, enduring, eternal. But how was it built? Who were the people who raised this monument from desert dust? That's the story we're about to uncover. Hello and welcome to Dori of the Nile. I'm Dora Petrova, an Egyptologist, a researcher and a storyteller with a passion for unraveling the mysteries of ancient Egypt and sharing the wonders of this fascinating civilization with you. In today's video, we're going to take a closer look at one of the most incredible achievements of ancient Egypt, the construction of the Great Pyramids in Giza. You've probably heard many theories about how they were built, but what if I tell you the true story might be even more remarkable than you ever imagined? Let's dive in and discover just how the Egyptians managed to achieve the impossible. Welcome, traveler of time. If this story stirs something in your heart, a like, a comment, or a quiet heart emoji tells the wind of the algorithm that this voice is worth hearing. Subscribe and help this small channel to grow so more echoes from ancient Egypt may rise again. The Great Pyramids of Giza, these colossal structures, have stood for millennia, a testament to the ancient Egyptian skills, ambition, and ingenuity. Yet, many still wonder, how could people from such an ancient civilization, using simple tools, have built something so grand? How could they have achieved what even modern societies would struggle to replicate? In this video, we will explore the true genius behind the construction of the pyramids and challenge the common narrative that ancient Egyptians were primitive. When people think of the ancient Egyptians building the pyramids, they often picture men wielding crude copper chisels and primitive hammers. But here is the first thing to consider. Those simple tools were not as basic as they seem. Copper tools, though not as hard as iron, could still be sharpened and refined to cut and shape the massive limestone blocks. And it wasn't just about the tools. It was the ingenuity behind how these tools were used that made the pyramids possible. The ancient Egyptians understood how to use these tools in ways that allowed them to shape stones with incredible precision. Building the pyramids wasn't just about shaping stones. It was about orchestrating a massive, highly organized labor force. Thousands of skilled workers, laborers, and engineers all working together to create a monument that will stand the test of time. The workers were not slaves, as some suggest. Evidence from workers' villages near Giza shows they were well fed, housed, and organized into teams. These workers were skilled craftsmen and architects. They had clear purpose to build something monumental, and they had the tools and the organization to make it happen. One of the most remarkable pieces of evidence we have is a diary of a man named Merer, discovered near the Red Sea at Wadi el-Jarf. Written over 4,500 years ago, it's the oldest known papyrus and a literal logbook from a foreman in charge of transporting limestone blocks to Giza. Merer records how his team ferried stone from the Tura quarries to Khufu's pyramid site using boats and canals. His account confirms that the pyramid wasn't built in mystery. It was built with meticulous planning, logistics, and human effort. It is our closest surviving voice from the construction site of the Great Pyramid itself. The real question is, how could they achieve such precision with just copper tools and rudimentary equipment? The answer lies in their deep knowledge of geometry and physics. The Great Pyramid of Khufu, for example, is aligned with true north to within just a fraction of a degree. To this, the Egyptians used a combination of simple instruments, like a plumb lines and sighting tools, to map out the stars and the horizon. This wasn't just construction, it was scientific engineering on a massive scale. We know the ancient Egyptians understood geometry not in abstract theory, but in practice. The Rhind mathematical papyrus, copied by the scribe named Ahmes around 1650 BCE, gives us a rare glimpse into how ancient Egyptian scribes calculated areas, slopes, and proportions. It doesn't define pi as we know it, but in one of its problems it suggests a method to approximate the area of a circle, which gives a value of about 3.16, remarkably close to pi. And then there is the Great Pyramid itself, its proportions so precise that the ratio of its base to its height mirrors that same constant. The ancient Egyptians weren't just stacking stones, they were speaking in geometry. The Egyptians didn't just rely on brute strength. They understood mechanical principles like leverage, with tools as simple as ramps, ropes, and wooden sleds. They moved massive stones up to the heights needed to complete the pyramid. How did they actually move the heavy stone blocks into place? One of the key innovations was the ramp system. Although theories vary, it's believed that the ancient Egyptians used different types of ramps to transport and place the massive stones. There were straight ramps, zigzagging ramps, and even spiral ramps that wrapped around the pyramid as it was built. By understanding the power of friction and gravity, The Egyptians were able to move and lift stones weighing several tons using a combination of ramps, sledges, and manpower. They didn't need cranes or advanced machinery. They had the mind to manipulate simple principles and materials. Now, think about this. When we build skyscrapers today, we rely on steel, cranes, and cutting-edge technology. Yet, we will be hard-pressed to achieve the precision and magnitude of the pyramids using only human muscle and simple tools. The ancient Egyptians didn't just build, they innovated. They solved problems and they planned in ways that challenge our modern perception of their capabilities. So next time you look at the pyramids, remember this. They were not built by aliens, nor were they the product of primitive people. They were built by innovative minds, skilled workers, and a society that had mastered the art of solving problems and using the tools at hand to push the boundaries of what was possible. The real question isn't how they built the pyramids. It's why we find it so hard to believe that they could do it with nothing more than their ingenuity and vision. I still remember the first time I stood before the pyramids. I was 18, and despite everything I knew at the time, I still doubted. How could human hands have done this? How could anyone have dreamed something so vast and actually build it? And at some point I realized maybe that doubt is part of the story. The ancient Egyptians didn't have lasers or machines. What they had was vision, purpose, faith in something greater than their limitations. Today, we have technologies that once belonged to science fiction. We are powered by AI, surrounded by knowledge, and yet we still wonder if we could ever achieve something so great. So maybe the real lesson of the pyramids isn't about how they were built, but why. To remind us, you can dream beyond your doubts. You can build something timeless, even if the world tells you it's impossible, just like they did. To truly grasp the genius of the pyramids, we must ask, what did they mean to the people who built them? What beliefs shaped their purpose? What dreams were carved into every block? In a future video, we will explore the spiritual and symbolic meaning of the pyramids, their role in ancient Egyptian belief, their cosmic alignments, and why they still speak to us today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Dori of the Nile, where past speaks and the future listens. If this echo touched your heart, leave a comment, a like, or simply a heart. And if you would like to walk further with me through the sand of time, subscribe and keep these ancient whispers alive.